Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Brandy Avery. I have a couple of posts to do a lot here in the community, but one of the things that I do is I educate people on finances. And I also help people build their credits and a lot of things about financial services. So my contribution to today's presentation is really about protecting yourself, protecting your finances if you are dealing with a situation where you're experiencing a loved one who's in gambling right now. So the first thing we're going to talk about is protecting your finances and protecting your credit. So obviously we just talked about some of the serious consequences of gambling, and some of the statistics that Melinda just shared with us is $50,000, $60,000 or more, depending on how much you have to lose as far as gambling. And of course, those numbers are probably all over the board. So just some practical tips about finances and how to protect yourself in relation to gambling. And a lot of the times you can use these practical tips in other areas of your life and finances. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to shift financial control. Right? So you want to shift financial control and your financial routine and responsibility from the person who's gambling and take it out of their name. So in particular, if you're a person who's married or you have a domestic partner or whatever your situation may be, you want to get that financial responsibility out of that person's name and put that in a trusted person, whether it's yourself or another family members, and you want to get that out of that person's name immediately. One of the ways to help yourself understand how this works is through looking at your budget. A budget is your incoming and your outgoing expenses so that you can understand your responsibilities in the household. A budget is one of the most important things as far as your financial foundation is concerned. So you really want to get a good grip on what your responsibilities are financially on a monthly basis or daily basis or weekly basis, however you manage your budget. Also, you want to look at your daily household finances, your banking, and then your beneficiary responsibilities, which is really huge in relations to your beneficiary responsibilities. If you have, say, a life insurance policy or any type of bank accounts, and you have a beneficiary listed, if that person is gambling, you want to remove that person as the beneficiary of those assets and resources and shift those to another person. Reason being, until that person becomes healthy and trusted with finances, you don't want to leave that person in charge of that financial responsibility. One thing that we talk about in regards to beneficiary responsibilities that you want to be aware of, and if you have a living will, for example, when you have a living will, that person who you have listed as your financial power of attorney or your medical power of attorney or just your general power of attorney may not be the same person that you have listed as your bank account power of attorney, the beneficiary in your bank account. What most people don't know, or misconception, is a living will does not trump your bank account beneficiary. So if you have a person listed on your bank account, that person is the person who stands to become control of your finances as far as your bank is concerned. Those people can be completely different. So if you want someone to have access to your bank account, you want to obviously list them on your living will, but also they need to be listed on your bank account. If that person is the gambler, then you'll want to shift financial control out of that person's name because they will have full control of the assets inside of your bank account. So some options you can do is look at a trust. A trust is something where you can put it in a person's name and you can still have very specific guidelines for that asset and those resources. Also, again, opt-out pre-screen is another opportunity that you want to look at. There is the 888 number there, the .com website there. Opt-out pre-screen, basically, if you receive a lot of pre-screen offers in the mail right now where you get your Capital One or your credit card offers, that's because someone has your information. Typically, it's your credit bureaus such as TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And when you get that opt-out pre-screen, what it does is remove yourself from that list and you decrease the number of mailers that you're getting at home. That information that's coming to your house actually has your personal information in it. So if someone was to open that mailer and get your name, your telephone number, there's typically some codes and things like that. That's because that company already has your social security number and they've already done a soft pull on your credit. Agencies that don't necessarily need permission to get your information. If you're actively participating in our society, then your information is out there already. And that's the reason why you get the 1-800 phone calls, you've been pre-approved, or you get the mailers at home, you've been pre-approved. So the opt-out pre-screen is a great opportunity that you can do to reduce risk from yourself. Then also, so that person won't get in contact with your mail, and then that'll reduce the opportunity from them being able to open up different accounts in your name, because that definitely happens. In addition to that, protecting your finances, you want to restrict access to money, meaning that if you have shared bank accounts or ATM cards or credit cards, if a person is an authorized user, you want to, again, remove that information or remove that person from that card, remove access. Changing your bank account or changing your ATM PIN code is an easy way. You also may want to talk to your personal banker. If you have a relationship at your bank or your credit union, talk to your personal banker. Personal bankers, they're mandated. Everything is confidential when you're talking to your personal banker, so they can walk you through that process, because it can be quite the process when you're changing accounts and names and things like that. But you definitely want to change those access codes out of that person's name. Also, another opportunity is pulling a monthly or quarterly credit report. And this is something you should be in the habit of doing anyway, but if you're not doing it, this is going to give you a good resource to see if your bills are being paid on time. Anytime you're 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days past doing a bill, it's going to reflect on your credit report. So if you're pulling a monthly or a quarterly credit report, that'll give you a good indication if your bills are being paid on time every single time. And if you see something on your credit report and it's past due, that's going to let you know right then and there that something's going on in your household and someone's not taking care of financial responsibility. So that's a great indicator to look at. You can actually pull a credit report for free every year by going to annualcreditreport.com, and then you also can pull a credit report for free from each credit bureau. So you can pull one from TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian. We give a little tip: pull one every quarter. Quarter one, pull one from TransUnion. Quarter two, Equifax. Quarter three or four, however you decide to balance it out, Experian, and you can look at a credit report every single quarter. You want to make sure that you're also looking at all three agencies. So don't just assume if you're looking at TransUnion that Equifax may not be affected, because remember, your bills are reporting to certain credit agencies and it may not be reporting to all three. So it's definitely important to pull what we call a tri-merge, and that's when you can look at all three credit agencies to see what's going on with your financial responsibilities. Another opportunity that you can do is a credit lock. So if you want to protect your credit 100% to make sure no one's opening up anything in your name, call the credit agencies and tell them to lock your credit. Or you can go online, you can go right on transunion.com or any of the credit agencies, and you can actually lock your credit yourself as well. It's free of charge, really easy to do. And what that does is if someone tries to open up something in your name, you're going to get alerted, they're going to be denied, and they're going to have a certain or special pass code before they can actually open up a new account in your name. So that's a great opportunity to help protect your credit, and then also by monitoring your credit will definitely help you reduce risk. Another really important tip is not to pay debts out of your own personal account. So you're helping out a family member, they're recovering from financial loss, you're helping them get back on track. You want to be very, very careful and particular about what you pay out of your personal account. The reason being is because if you're paying debts out of your personal account and you still have some financial goals that you've yet to obtain, such as maybe you want to purchase a new home or a new car, that's a risk to lenders. Large sums of money coming out of your account is risky to a lender. So they're going to investigate, they're going to ask those questions, and they may even deny you the loan because you look like a risk as a consumer.